Hey, good morning. Happy Wednesday. And remember that today is Wednesday. Last Wednesday we talked about doing a weedless Wednesday. So if weed is your thing, maybe take the day off, see how that goes for you. And what I want to do today is take a look at some more signs and symptoms. We're going to do signs and symptoms of substance issues today and signs and symptoms of mental health issues tomorrow, and also look at some effective self-care things for both of them. So just let me share this screen here. And this is the one that I want. And then of course I have to go through this. There we go. Check your thinking. This is a thing that I'm always talking about. And I know it seems like, okay, you talked about that 15 times already, but it's something that we absolutely have to pay attention to. The questions are, is what you're thinking true? Is it really true? How are you feeling or acting because of how you're thinking? And there's one more I'll get to in a minute. That how are you feeling or acting because of how you're thinking is important. If you don't like how you're feeling, if you don't like how you're managing a situation, if you don't like how things are going, it's your responsibility, and you have the ability to change that. You can change how you're looking at things. And we talked about that yesterday in a couple of ways. And then the fourth question is, how would I feel or act if I thought differently? So remember, if you're uncomfortable about how things are, if you're panicked, if you're stressed, you can't blame the situation, because the situation is just the situation. The blame has to come back to you, and you have to look at yourself and say, okay, what do I need to do differently to manage this situation? Okay, so we're going to go through 11 DSM-5 characteristics on substance problems, and a 12th one that I think should have been in there but wasn't. And uh, so signs and symptoms. As we go through these, keep track of which ones are true for you. And they don't always have to be 100% true, but if it's a tendency that you have, then what that's telling you is this is something that you need to pay attention to. So the first one is using larger amounts or for longer periods of time than you wanted to. Now I use some, they're not inappropriate, but they're extreme slides in some of this. So this one is an ink poisoning side. This young gentleman drank enough that he passed out, and his really good friends took their Sharpies and totally inked him up. Now, in a way that's kind of mildly amusing. In another way, it's not funny at all, because drinking till you pass out is dangerous. It's one of the stages of alcohol poisoning. First stage of alcohol poisoning is throwing up. The second one is passing out, and the third one you're breathing and your heart stop working properly. And you know where that leads. So if you are drinking more or using more than you intended to, or you're using for a longer period of time than you intended to, then that's a sign to you that maybe this stuff isn't working too well. If you've tried to cut down and that hasn't been successful, if you keep like the weedless Wednesday thing, if you said, okay, well, I'm not going to smoke weed on Wednesdays, but you did smoke last Wednesday, and you've already done it today, or you're planning on doing it today, then that's an unsuccessful effort to quit or cut down. If you said, I'm going to drink less, or I'm not going to drink by myself, or I'm only going to drink beer, I'm not going to get drunk, any of those things, but that continues to happen, that's an unsuccessful effort to cut down. Uh, Lots of times using, recovering from using. Again, some unfortunate imagery here, but if a lot of your life is focused around getting your drug of choice, finding money for your drug of choice, going to get it, making sure that you have enough, using it, getting overusing it, and then starting that cycle and over again. That's another indicator that this stuff is a problem for you. Craving. I don't know why this doesn't work. Sorry, gotta go down here. Like really wanting something, getting excited about it, can't wait for it, thinking about it all the time. Those are all indicators of craving. And is that something that you want for yourself? Screwing up home stuff, relationship stuff, school stuff, work stuff. If those things aren't going well, and you've already said yes to one or two of those questions that I've asked already, then that's an indicator that this stuff is starting to cause you trouble. And again, if something's hurting you, why are you continuing to do it? Why is that going on? So again, continuing in spite of problems. If your mood's not good, if you're upset about stuff, if a lot of your relationships are struggling, then that's a sign that this stuff isn't working for you. If you've given up other activities, that's a clip from, or a still from Basketball Diaries. If you're looking for a movie to watch, check out Basketball Diaries. It's a fabulous movie based on a true story. Leonardo DiCaprio's in it. I think he's like 18 or 19 in it, and Mark Wahlberg as well. So good actors, but a really good story on addiction issues. But if you've stopped doing other stuff that you like to do, and your substance use has started to take over for that, then that's another indicator that this stuff isn't really working for you. If you're drinking or using in dangerous situations like driving impaired, driving high, those are indicators that this stuff is interfering with your respect for yourself. And it's easy to say that, well, it's not a big deal, it's just me, but it isn't just you. You're potentially impacting other people. But if that doesn't matter to you, then what that's saying to you is that your substance use, your relationship with that substance, is getting in the way of your ability to protect yourself. This is a little bit funny. Well, actually, it's very funny. It's a 22 minutes piece on impaired driving.
Stop for quite some time. I'm going to check it out. Excuse me. Have you been smoking any pot today? No. Well, you've been stopped here for 15 minutes. Can you tell me why that is?
We're waiting for the stop sign to turn green.
How high are you?
How are you?
No, I said, how high are you?
Hi, how are you? This guy was so friendly, babe.
Okay, I am going to have to conduct a pot sobriety test.
Oh, man, I'm too high for that.
Blow into this?
Hey, is that a breathalyzer?
No. Okay, now I'm going to ask you a few questions to determine your ability to drive. Why is a pizza box square when the pizza's a circle and all the little slices are tiny triangles? Which of these two snacks would you prefer? Chips or the cookie dough? Step out of the car, please. Let's go.
Please, don't drive high. We're getting cookie dough all over the back of our cruisers.
Funny but true. And impaired driving on marijuana is just as serious as impaired driving on alcohol. Next sign or symptom, continuing using even though it's causing physical or emotional problems. So if you've got anxiety, if you've got depression, if you've got sleep problems, if you have stomach problems, if you're using a lot, and again, like we've gone through several questions, if you're saying yes to a few of those, and you're having any physical or emotional problems, then your substance use guaranteed is making those worse.
I've been short of logic, so I'm passed out on the party. This counter's only floor. I've been here before 12 times. I'm Simon, I've got one thing of
So again, if things are happening to you when you're using a substance that aren't really that great, like you're wrecking stuff, losing your phone, breaking your phone, uh, getting in trouble with people, wrecking clothes, messing yourself up somehow, some way, and that's happening over and over again, then that's another sign that this stuff isn't working. If your tolerance is increasing, if you need more to get get the feeling that you're looking for, if you need more alcohol, if you need more cannabis, if you need more of anything, tolerance going up is a sign that your dependency on that substance is increasing and your body is requiring more to get what you're looking for. And withdrawal symptoms when you're not using, if you're crabby, irritable, miserable, difficult to get along with, and you're using a lot, it's changing your mood, it's changing how you feel and how you function. And this is the 12th one, chronic dishonesty about use. It's interesting that when people develop a relationship with a substance, they get really protective about it. And so they will minimize how much they are drinking or using. They'll lie about what they're drinking or using. They'll make attempts so that people don't recognize it. Like lots of people will go to a different liquor store 2 or 3 days in a row just so that people in the store don't notice that they might be going there too much. They'll hide stuff. They'll do, just if you're not being real honest about what you're doing and upfront about it, it's likely an issue. And so what helps, and the truth around alcohol with adolescents is you shouldn't use it at all, period. Like, it's not good for your brain, and I talked about that a few shows ago. But if you're going to do it, minimize it. Control your drinking. If whatever you usually drink, try and drink less. If you usually are like a 5-6 drink person, go down to 3 and see if you can actually stay there. For 3 for a boy, 2 for a girl is within sort of those safe drinking guidelines for an adult. And again, it's not good for teenagers, but if you are a teenager and do drink, then check this out. See if you are actually in control of what you're doing. And I said in there, if you can't do that or won't do it, then that's a guarantee that it's a problem. Take a break for a month. We got lots of time right now, which is a good time to do this because a lot of our usual things that we see as stress aren't around. Take a break for a month, go sober for a month and see how that feels. And again, if that's a frightening thought for you, that's telling you something. Find other things to do that you like to do, whether it's sing, dance, draw, talk to people, help somebody out, whatever. But get busy doing something else that feels good, because that will help you get back to your real self. And exercise is really important. Walk, run, dance, move, anything. Move around. 30 minutes a day outside going for a walk is awesome. You don't have to run a marathon. So the last one is meditation. Meditation helps retrain, reprogram our brain. And if you say, oh, I can't meditate, I don't know how, or it's too hard, or whatever, it's probably to a degree that's an excuse. So find one you like. There's thousands and thousands of guided meditation things on YouTube, which is a way to learn how to meditate. You don't have to just sit on the pillow with your uh, hands tented. You can meditate walking around if that works for you, but get something that will help you understand how that process works. So find a guided meditation, check it out. And just to wrap up here, those questions again. So is what you're thinking true? So when we started this, if you didn't think you had a substance problem and you realized, hey, I'm saying yes to a few of these questions, then what you were thinking about that wasn't really true. But the fact that you were thinking that you didn't have a problem allowed you to keep doing that. And the fourth question is, how would you feel or act if you thought differently? So that's it for today. Check your thinking on this. I'm going to stop sharing that screen, and here I am back again. So check those questions out. Think about where you're at with this and get honest with yourself, and like go find something else to do. Like it's nice out. Go for a walk. Have a good day. Enjoy. And I got to stop this recording.